I'm Anarchy. I'm with Rob Moz. This is Mozzcast. What's going on, Rob?
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Merry Christmas. All I want for Christmas is to do an episode of Mozzcast with Rob Moz.
Uh,
That's my
that's all I
wish.
want to.
So Merry Christmas, Rob. We want to do some more talk about Marvel Legends, our favorite Marvel Legends, maybe our top 10 Marvel Legends of the year.
Yeah,
Because
definitely,
Hasbro
definitely. Yeah.
is killing it right now. So our top 10 Marvel Legends, Rob. What do you think? Do you think obviously think Hasbro did a good job this year?
I think the number one tour line out there is Marvel Legends. Bang for buck, as we always say, variety. Uh, the way they're building them, the amount of figures coming out, it's definitely number one. And we watch a lot of YouTube and we support a lot of YouTube, and we want to get our top 10 in there also as a collective.
I agree, and this is hard. This is actually a really hard list for me because there's so many great figures.
I'm probably not as into many as lines as into the lines that you are in. So yeah, I can see where it's a little tougher for you.
Mm-hmm.
It was, there's some knockout figures to me in here, and I
There are.
really came up with 10, and it was easier than I expected.
Hmm.
But there's really some, $20, please, all day
All day
figures.
long.
Yeah, yeah. I and he is on the list. Let, let's get started. Let's get started with talking about, like something that you wanted to touch on. Was it more than like a figure, like an entire wave that I really wasn't into, but you definitely wanted to include? Was the Fantastic Four line. This whole wave. I wasn't into Marvel Legends at the time when this released, so I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this because they are pretty fantastic.
I love the Fantastic Four. I could not wait for this wave to come out. Now, before this wave, Marvel Legends did an earlier Fantastic Four set from Walgreens. These are different than those, and I'm not going to go into much detail about the Walgreens set, but this wave of Marvel Legends is probably my wave of the year. I love this wave, right? Okay, so we got what's on the screen, Johnny Storm, and the costumes are not a costume that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with usually the dark blue and in the white and like the black boots, right, or the John Byrne, Chris Claremont from the comics suits. But as far as I know, these are the costumes. There's a game called Marvel Contest of Champions, and I really think that they coordinate and create these characters to look like the action figures or vice versa. I don't know for sure, but the characters in this wave, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, the Thing, they all look like their video game counterparts, especially Mr. Fantastic.
Outstanding. Yeah, they look. They definitely look notched up from the Walgreens release. I have the whole Walgreens released Fantastic Four. That's my team set I have.
Mm-hmm.
But the sculpts on these are fantastic.
They're so nice, dude. This is why it was so hard for me. And I'm kind of going your route, Rob, where I'm creating teams for the figures that I buy. So sometimes you might need two of a character to complete the team or whatever. But the Fantastic Four is my team. I love this wave, and this probably incorporates my top 10, right? So, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and the Thing is the 4 of the 10. Doctor
Is
Doom.
the Thing the same as the previous Thing from the Walgreens?
The pants are different. I'm pretty sure the sculpt.
That sculpt is amazing.
Yeah, the sculpt is similar, if not the same. There might be a minor difference or two, but I just like what they did with all 4 of them. Even though, it's not the comic book that I read when I was a kid, but I think they knocked wave out of the park. I think they did the Fantastic Four justice. I think a lot of people like the old Toy Biz Super Scroll, but I dig this one. You could even use
Okay.
you can even buy the old Toy Biz one for another scroll if you wanted to. But I dig this Super Scroll. I know the
Yeah.
She-Hulk is the new color from the comics. She's kind of like a grayish color in the comics right now. And the Doctor Doom, man, they just killed this Doctor Doom. It
Yeah.
is sick. The best Doctor Doom in Marvel Legends history, in my opinion.
Uh, bar none. You know,
But
bar none.
this pretty much incorporates my top 10 right here. So you got seven. You got seven of my top 10 is literally right on your screen.
And then this is another one that you're pretty high on.
And yeah, I read this comic as a kid. I love Shang-Chi, and he another great
Amazing,
figure.
amazing. You know what the claim to fame for this figure is for this season, though? The first Marvel Legends with nipples.
And that's why
All
he's in
jokes
my
aside,
top 10. No.
yeah, Greg plays with nipples. But um, all jokes aside, though, it is a fantastic looking figure. They really sculpted. I know they're going to come out with a movie version because the movie's
Movie's
coming out
coming
next
out,
year,
right?
right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's movie theaters, but that's for a whole friggin' other.
Episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole nother episode. I mean, uh, they nailed it though. I like him in his full suit, and that's what probably threw me off from including him in mine. You know, I like him full suited and
Yes.
with the gi with the whole
The
outfit on.
right the jacket, the kung fu jacket or whatever. But
Yeah,
there's a seller on eBay, GPS Lot, that sells a jacket for him. That I have not bought it yet. I've had it. I've looked at it numerous times and just haven't pulled the trigger. But I am going to buy one soon for him. This would be number 8 of my top 10. Shang-Chi.
right, right. To get him to where we're starting to get a top 10 where we both are pretty close on all these. And this figure, I'm not sure if it came out in 2019 or early 2020. I wasn't into Legends at the time. I was just doing cards. I did see it in the stores, and I do have it now. I went back and got her. Uh, what a figure, man! Like the multiple heads, the playability. The only thing I could take a shot on is the boots. I wish they would have gave us something we could pop over because she wears the Indian style boots with the fringe at the top.
Right.
Um, you know, it, I wish they would have gave us something like that. I'm not sure who I know there's Wolfbane, Danny. I'm not sure of this head of that character. Do you know who that is?
I do not. I never saw this figure in Walgreens. I wanted it specifically for the Wolfsbane head because she was on the X Factor team when I was reading that as in the 90s with my favorite writer, Peter David. But so I need this figure for that Wolfsbane head for my X Factor team. I
Right.
never saw her in Walgreens. You and I have visited a ton of Walgreens over the last year, especially, but before
Sure.
COVID. Never saw her in
Yeah.
store. Believe it or not, she came up on pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store for retail price, and you could order
Ooh,
as many as you wanted. So
wow.
I put the order in, and they haven't shipped yet, but I do plan on getting 3 of those to display with my X-Men Legends for sure.
Yeah. Now this is the New Mutants costume. I'm sure they're going to be touching on some more New Mutants coming out in soon. I haven't heard anything, but definitely looking forward to it. But they did a great job with this with the bow and the arrow and
Yeah, I like this figure
and
too. There's
yeah.
just so many for me to even narrow down to a top 10. But look what you get though for the $20. You get the figure, 3 heads basically. You know, how can you and they're really quite brilliant at their marketing plan because everybody needs 3 of them,
Yeah, yeah, I know
right?
it's like you can buy one, but you need three.
You need
You
3.
know, yeah, I agree. I agree. Walgreens exclusive, I believe she was.
She
And
was. That's what surprised me when she came up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. I didn't think that they, you know, did that. And uh, another figure that I never saw in Walgreens was the Cuckoos. And I think she's
Yeah,
on your list, but I did not get this at Walgreens. This was another
I'm giving away the list. No, yeah.
this was another big. I just got these in the mail from Big Bad Toy Store. They also put these up for pre-order. I ordered three of them for the same reason, for the three heads. But
Yeah, she there it is. I totally agree. This is a midway through my list. A figure I never expected. I didn't know much about, and came out again like maybe 2000, late 2019, early
right.
2020.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was late 2019, but I just got it, so add it to my 2020 list.
From the show, from what was it? Wasn't Shield, right? What show where the Stepford? Um, do you remember the TV show they were on
I thought that I
with
thought it was.
Polaris and um, but really that's where I learned about them.
Oh,
Is from
okay.
the show. Yeah, I know they're related to Emma Frost somehow. I don't know if their DNA is connected somehow or something, but
Right, and that's
there was
where
five.
I've seen the pictures of them in the comic series next to Emma Frost. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
Again, I really need to read some modern comics. I have not read many of new comics that have been out over the last 10 years or so. But I
yeah.
dig the figure. I mean, again,
Well, you gotta have three.
you,
I gotta have three.
you
I
got to
have
have
three. I
three.
don't know.
Again, for the
Yeah,
$20, you get three heads. You get the Professor X. What's that? Cerebro, right? The helmet,
yeah.
and then
And they give you fists, and they give you interchangeable fists and the effect
and
also.
effects for $20. But again, they sell three of them for each collector, probably.
Without a doubt. Yeah. As much as I complain about the articulation on what they're doing with the females, stuff like this doesn't bother me at all. They're not real agile. They're not jumping around the screen. They're using their brain to as their power basically. Um, but definitely on my list, it's more mid list for me. Next, you gotta love this War Machine, man. I never ever thought that I would love another War Machine more. That's one of the Toy Biz ones that blew me away. Was that
Okay.
Toy Biz War Machine with all the accessories and the removal of mask,
Mm-hmm.
and they did it. They beat it. They literally gave me everything I want. I didn't know I wanted and more with this War Machine. They really the accessories, the launching, the
Right.
look of it. That
This is a great figure for sure. I own one of these too. This kind of hit me by surprise because I had the movie one in my display for my main War Machine, and that was
yeah,
kind of awkward and big. But I mean, it looked different than Iron Man, right? So it did its job. But
yeah,
this this thing just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was $29.99, I think, right? It was a little bit
yeah.
more than
It's a
a
lot.
standard Legend.
Yeah.
Um, but man, they did a killer job on this figure too, dude. You never need another War Machine after this.
No, no. They gave you the effects out the boots, and they really went all out with it. With the cannon effects and the gun effects and the rockets launching.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't leave you wanting. It definitely they did their thing with this War
Oh,
Machine,
wow,
and
good picture. Yeah.
yeah, that is a good picture. Uh, so definitely within our top 10 of Marvel Legends from 2020. The sculpting, everything about this figure, the paint, nothing more can be said. Thank you, Hasbro.
Yeah, great figure. Yes, thank you, Hasbro.
Nimrod, a figure I didn't know about. Again, I'm learning. I learned so much, from Marvel Legends team about Marvel fit characters because they really dig in and they give us obscure and things I didn't even know I wanted. I know nothing about a Nimrod, and I got this figure in hand, and man, I'm blown away by it. I'm really, really blown away. Like it's like a build a figure. It's like a build a figure out of a 3-pack, and I don't know much about the character, but I know
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
either. The only thing I
I'm
know about the
gonna
character is it's Nimrod is the name you call me when we're like sitting next to each other. Like, hey, Nimrod.
yes, yes. Uh, the effects it comes with, they really. I'm not sure what the butterfly on the back was, but I know there's an interchangeable head.
Dude, I dig it too, though, dude. I dig it too. I'm with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like
And
me
I
some
think
Nimrod.
this is going to be right out of the House of X storyline.
Okay.
Um, let's go Nimrod. Definitely up on my list.
Do you have one of him right now, Rob?
I do,
Okay.
I do, I do have Nimrod. Um, I know this isn't one of your favorite,
I
and I know a lot of people didn't enjoy the Age of Apocalypse storyline so much. Uh, but this goddamn build a figure is outstanding.
I
I love this thing.
oh man, I did not get this wave. This wave can sit on the pegs for the next 10 years. How is he holding Thor's hammer? Is that a thing? Like how is he holding
Everybody's holding it now. What are you talking about? Captain America, Silver Surfer. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true. I
they're
don't
just
Sugar
they're just
Man.
passing it around now. So
Oh boy. Yeah,
now you look at the.
mm,
Go ahead.
I'm not with you on this, Rob. I can't
Okay.
I don't know. I think the X-Man character, third one into the left, was actually called X-Man, right? That's the only
Yeah.
one that I'm really
Yeah.
familiar with. I mean, I know Wolverine's on the other side, and there's a version of Beast, and
Yeah.
that's it. I don't really know anything
The
else.
morph, the morph is a dark type morph from Age of Apocalypse. Same with the Dark Beast,
Okay.
Wild Child. You really need Sabretooth. Like he was more or less on a chain with Sabretooth,
Okay. Right.
and we all know Sunfire, from the Horses of Apocalypse, four horses.
Right. Okay.
But this Sugar Man was in that storyline, and he's even become in more modern storylines now. It, I'm just blown away by the actual, the build figure itself, what they did with this, like this is no, there's nothing reused on this, and you
Right.
could tell,
No, I get it.
this is all,
It's a crazy figure. I mean, that's for
yeah.
sure. That's my only compliment. It's a crazy figure. I don't know what else to say, but oh
uh,
man, that is I just
let's go,
yeah.
Sugar Man.
You call me the sugar daddy, but you want your sugar man.
I'll let you
Uh,
talk about this one.
we do not generally collect movie figures, right? Marvel Legends movie figures. We did at one point, and then just we like the movies. We love the movies. Avengers. The first Avengers film was one of my favorite films of all time. I think they did an outstanding job on that first Avengers film. The second one, not so
Yeah,
much. Um, but Deadpool, man, they knocked this figure out of the park. Even I enjoyed the first and second Deadpool films, but they knocked the hell out of this figure, dude. And look at that's a great picture right there, pulling the swords out.
right here.
Yeah, yep. And
Yeah,
I think this comes with in the 2-pack, right? That's how you get this figure, or
yeah,
is he on a
yeah.
single card? I know there's an
Now
Amazon exclusive coming out that's a little bit darker than a darker red, but you got to get them in the 2-pack. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's there it is.
yeah. Uh, they really this is the definitive Deadpool to me right
Mm-hmm.
now. They pull no punches with this figure. Besides the guns are weird, like
A
the
little bit.
guns in the holsters
Yeah.
won't come out. But you can go online and I think they show a couple things where you could heat them up and pull. But I don't understand why they just didn't have them come out from the beginning. But they give you two like futuristic type guns. But they from head to toe, this figure there's not many flaws at all. What's up, Deadpool? There's really not many flaws at all with this figure.
No, it's a great figure. I bought this one too, even though I don't really collect the movie stuff. Um,
Yeah, no, me either.
you're right.
Me either.
This is a great figure, without a doubt. This is a unicorn. He comes with the unicorn. Um,
I got him at 5 on my list. I think he could be higher.
mhm.
I think he could easily be higher, but because he's a movie figure, that's why he's at 5.
I got
You
you.
know,
I
uh,
got you.
you know, but I can easily see this figure being the top 3,
3.
top 2 figure in a lot of lists.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's an amazing figure. Coming in at 4, what else is there to say? Kang, man. they nailed the essence of this figure
They
in
did.
every aspect of it. You know, the tunic, the face, the gun.
Yep.
Uh, Truly amazing, amazing.
Now
Let's go Hasbro.
he's on my top 10 list as well. Kind of fits in with the Fantastic Four theme that I had. You know, he would probably
Sure.
be my number 8 or 9. Could go higher, 5. You know, I wanted a Kang figure
Yeah.
for so long. I have talked to friends about this, but you know, and I think this actually came out recently, but as him being the next big bad in the new Avengers film, like he could be. But I said that as soon as we got done the second Avengers film because Kang, time travel, could essentially bring back Tony Stark. He could, I mean, you could, everybody that died, Kang, even
Yeah.
reversing the snap from Thanos, Kang could probably
Sure.
reverse that by,
Very, very
you
powerful
know, and I said
Kang.
that the only villain that could come close to Thanos in the films, I say, well, two. There's two for me, Kang or Doctor Doom. Both two very
Sure.
powerful villains, but
Sure.
I think Kang fits the motif of being um, the bigger villain who could essentially stop everything that happened so far. It could be you could go back in time, you could change this and that and all this other stuff. But um, I think that's what they're going to do, man. I think Kang's going to be the next big villain in the MCU films.
I can see that happening. That's really good. That's really good insight. You know, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah. You know, for a character like Thanos, who
Mm-hmm.
they really lived up to what he was in the comics
The,
because he was that damn powerful in the comics,
he was.
and they did a good job of writing it and Endgame and all that, Infinity War. But about this figure, the sculpting on this tunic, how it's
Yes,
going in with the belt and the boots and the head.
absolutely.
Man, could
The
they
camera
get
should
a more
autofocus. There you go.
yeah? Could they get really a more perfect Kang? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need another one.
No, me
You know,
neither.
and that's what pushes figures up for me. Is this it? Is this
Oh, look how
look at the
bad the
old?
old one looks. Holy
Yeah, I
crap.
know. When you really look at it, wow.
I liked that
All you
figure
need,
at the time as well.
sure,
I
me
found that
too.
figure in Walmart when I was collecting. Uh, was he Hasbro at the time, or was he? Yeah, he's definitely Hasbro because
I believe so.
I can tell
Yeah,
by the joints and stuff. He wasn't. I don't think he was Toy Biz. He was Hasbro. But I found that figure in a Walmart and I bought him, and I loved that Kang for the longest time. But man, they just
yeah.
killed this one.
Yes, they
This one
did.
just they just killed it, man. This
Kang
is
number 4 on my list. He's definitely in your top 10.
yes,
You
sir.
know, let's go Kang. Moving on to number 3. I mean, you already spoke about him. You know, he could be number 1. You know, this is the retro
That's the
with the
retro one. Yep.
with the cannons in the back. I didn't know. I didn't know that was part of it. I didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
this was. I got to get one now. I didn't know. I didn't. I thought they was just a repaint. Maybe they added a book or something, but
Right.
no, they really did their thing on this.
Boom. Just dropped a whole bunch of stuff. But haven't even
Yeah.
opened them yet. But you know,
Wow.
yeah, there he is. Great box that he came with. Uh,
And even the movie wave one. I mean, the Fantastic Four wave one
right.
was outstanding. Uh, but they really knocked this out of the park. I mean, the colors, the packaging, the books, the effects.
You go
There
wrong.
he is. Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
Love the card
wow.
art. Man, I don't want to open it.
Yeah, you're not going to open it, right? Or are you?
No, I don't think I am. I mean, that is just a killer display piece. Just
Yeah,
like, dude, in the shipping box or the box it came in is just
yeah.
outstanding too, man.
I agree. I totally agree.
You got to get one. Check Big Bad Toy Store, man. They might still have them in stock, but I would that would be my next purchase if I were you, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. I might have to get this. Is that a cloth?
I
Uh,
think so. Yes. Like I haven't
the
opened
top.
that one. Yep.
Wow. But basically, the other Doctor Doom doesn't have the rockets on his back either, right?
No, he does not. Nope, that's new to
Wow,
this.
jeez,
No
that's
books.
crazy.
The old one doesn't have the books.
Well,
That
number three is Doctor Doom, and he could be easily number one. I mean, like you said, Kang and Doom, they're two characters that can be play a big part in the
mm-hmm.
Marvel thing. I got this at number two, but I struggle not to put him at number one. And I know this isn't the best pictures. I've seen other pictures that I will, that you like a lot better, but this Spidey has blown away import, $80 import, like Mayfex. A lot of people love the Mayfex Spider-Man, and there's Pizza Spider-Man, and there's the Raft set Spider-Man. There's tons of Spider-Mans.
There are a lot of Spider-Men. Yep.
This is the definitive. This is the numero uno. This is the ace. This is number one. This is the Spider-Man of all Spider-Mans. This is what they did with this character. Uh, I didn't know they can improve on it. I used to love the McFarlane Spider-Man, and they really put in a lot of time, a lot of effort. I know you see something with the shoulders, but I showed you other pictures where it might have changed your mind a little bit.
You did. Yep.
In hand, you know, I do have one. I just don't know where it's at. I didn't even open it yet. The two heads, I believe one is Ramita, and one is who drew right after Ramita. Early Spider-Man. Um, John Romita and Dicko.
Oh, okay.
Dicko.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I believe these heads are both based after those two artists,
Okay.
which was early Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think you're right.
How do you feel about it?
Like I said, this picture is not the best picture. I from that picture kind of looks like um the body might be a little bit too big for my taste, but I've seen other pictures where it looks like a fantastic Spider-Man. I want my Spider-Man to be a little bit thinner than that one. I have not seen this in hand. I have not held that figure in hand.
Nah, we don't want to go to YouTube. I hope this is in YouTube. No, okay. I mean, the fuchsia, the packaging on it is outstanding. Just that old Spider-Man classics. The retro line packaging.
Right, and I need this wave as well. Now look at, yeah, I mean that is just that is a killer picture, man. Maybe it's the angles of the first picture we showed, but man, that does look like. Yeah, I don't see the issues that I see. Like I said, I do not own this wave. I want this wave. I have not bought this wave yet. I am going to buy this whole wave soon, and I'll let you know what I think. I'm definitely not saying, wow, I think that completely stops all my criticisms. These pictures stop all my criticisms from what I just said from those first pictures.
You can see the bigger shoulders, but they're
Right.
not as blatant as they're pictured in
Than that first picture we showed, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, see, I
yeah.
don't see that at all now. That's
Look at
really
this.
nice. Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Um,
they are real. This is really the definitive Spider-Man. This should be number one for me right now. I have another figure number one, and I think I'm going to change it to this Spider-Man because you know if you find them, put them away. This Spider-Man, they're going to reproduce it. I think they're going to do every Spider-Man character again on this body because it's so good. It is just so dynamic. The the They did the ab crunch with the swivel,
hmm
so you're getting a lot of movement out of this guy.
Yeah, yeah, I see that from these pictures, man. He's Defouche is doing all sorts of poses with him. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, look the feet, the ankle joint.
yeah.
But
I mean,
when I buy this wave, I'll let you know my thoughts on him once I get him in hand. Okay, so there you have that looks like Pizza Spidey, right?
It is, yes.
So you have the retro one on the left and the Pizza Spuddy on the right. And the Pizza Spuddy, they called him Pizza Spuddy because he came with a slice of pizza, like a piece
Yeah.
of plastic pizza, and he was the main Spider-Man for the longest time for people in
Yes.
people's collection. From what I can tell, the one on the left, this retro one, is taken over as people's main Spidey.
Yes.
I really, really dig the Pizza Spidey. He's in my
Sure.
collection right now as my main Spidey, but you might be right, Rob. I'll let you know once I get him if he's going to take
Take
over
a look
my
at the
Pizza
hips.
Spidey.
Just take a look at the hips on both of them.
Yes.
And that really is what changed my whole perspective on this. I think the retro Spidey has the drop down hips, so you pull the leg down and you
Right.
get more articulation out of it. But when it's up, it looks really good.
Right.
Whereas the pizza Spidey, they look a little wonky.
They
You
do.
know,
I can't argue that point. They do. They do.
but all right. So I'm very curious. Let me know when you get this Spider-Man, and let's
Mm-hmm.
go on to who we feel is number one, and probably going to be a figure that people want in their collections. Uh, this is sick.
Yeah.
This is something I didn't know I wanted that I have to have, and I got. But I want two, three. You know,
He rounds out my list as well for 10. Again, he's a character in the game Marvel Contest of Champions. Honestly, he's not that great of a character in game. He's kind of weak actually in the game, but I'm pretty sure they made him just for the game, and they
right?
translated that into action figure form. Again, which makes me believe that Hasbro works with the game to make their character designs. So
Sure.
but yeah, he is in the game Marvel Contest of Champions. I do have him in the game. But the way they translated him into action figure form is outstanding.
Yes.
Um,
I mean, look at this. Look at this guy. I
that
mean,
that's nuts. His name is Venom Pool. I believe that's what he goes by. So,
yeah.
and you said it earlier. Venomized Deadpool is what he is. He's Deadpool with the symbiote
Sure.
taken over him, but I believe his name is Venom Pool. And they say the detail, the fabric of the suit is outstanding too. When I saw some other pictures, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you can see it. You
yep,
can more or less see it. The
mm-hmm,
staples, they look pronounced. They don't
yes.
look flat.
So
And the textures. But he also comes with alternate hands, which is very odd for a build figure to come with two sets of hands. It's not a normal thing they do because he has the hands to hold the swords and then he has open hands also. You know, to that you could swap out, which is they don't do that with build
right,
figures all the time. Uh, I don't know where this figure, it came from the game. I don't know why they created it, but thank God they did. I love it.
you
I
you
can't
have
wait to
this wave. I don't
I,
have this wave yet. So this is
yeah.
another wave beside the retro Spider-Man wave that I need to get. Man, this is just might be the build a figure of the year. I mean, we don't have
Yes.
really any.
This might be the figure of the year,
Yeah.
honestly. We could do a whole nother one with just build a figures. We're a new channel. We have a lot to talk about. We love Marvel Legends. I wouldn't mind diving back, maybe going through a little history of Marvel Legends, and we're gonna start producing a little more content and just enjoying it. It isn't for the money. It's to have fun and hang with my friend and talk about what we love. You
Yep,
know,
I totally agree. So hang out with friends. We're going to have guests as we go on. More friends of ours that we just, that share the love of toys and legends, of course. But can't wait, man. Can't wait to get going. So this rounds out your top 10, right, Rob? This was your
yeah.
number one. We
This
kind
was
of
my
we kind of jumped all over the place, but everybody gets the
sure.
idea. But he is on my. This one is on my top 10 list as well. I mean, how could he not be on my top 10 list?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's mostly Fantastic Four, and then Shang-Chi and Venompool rounds out my 10. But this
yeah.
was hard for me, dude.
This Spider Man's gonna infiltrate though. Maybe not that one. This
Uh,
one right here.
yeah, I'll
The,
let
you
you
know,
know once I get the wave. I do plan on buying that wave soon. So
yeah. This Spider Man is gonna take number one. Don't worry. I see what you're seeing in the alternate pictures with
Right.
the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. But when you really when I was able to look at other pictures of this, and man,
I
wow,
see what you're saying now. Yeah, I absolutely see what you're saying. Yep.
yeah. So let's go.
And that
Let's go.
that whole wave that came out, that retro wave, I really dig, man. Peter Parker with his glasses on, and Gwen Stacy with the Mary Jane head, and um, the
Yeah,
Electro, and was there
yeah. There's
Electro Green Goblin? Yep.
oops. Yeah, there's the Green Goblin. They did in a different color. I think they did a different head also from the previous release. Um, the Peter with the dual head.
Yeah. I
Uh,
love with the Spider Man. Yeah, half Spider Man. I love this wave. I saw the whole wave once at my Target, and I had them in
yeah.
my hand, and I put them back. Finances. I had already bought a ton of toys, trying to save a little bit of
Yeah.
money, but I wish I had bought this entire wave.
The Electro, we needed the classic
Classic.
Electro. I,
Yep.
to me, he's too muscular. I like the Space Venom body Electro better,
Hmm.
where he's a lot thinner.
I
Um,
like that. I like that Electro as well.
yeah, but the costume isn't classic. This is a
Hmm.
classic costume. I just think they went a little too muscular with him. I like them a
Right.
little thinner, but they do that from time to time. It doesn't mean that they won't fix it at some point. Give us another one. But I don't know if many people made a big stink about that part about the electro body
Right.
or not. But definitely, I would have enjoyed a thinner electro.
So, what do you think of the two of my favorites in this wave, the Peter Parker and the Gwen Stacy? What do you think about those two?
I love the Gwen Stacy. It also comes with an alternate head to make uh, his love interest.
Mary Jane.
Damn, Mary Jane. There you go. No, what a great. They knocked them out of the park. The whole wave. I love Greg. Honestly,
Yeah, me
I
too.
wish I could find some pictures of it, but I guess that's it. Wow, that's good. But Peter, I think you could use that body for a lot of things.
Oh,
I
probably.
love the glasses
Hmm.
that they gave him, the thick glasses. Yeah, no, I think the whole wave is outstanding.
Me too.
Outstanding wave.
I also think it's an outstanding wave.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the retro figures. And they did the Gambit and they did the Rogue and they did J. Jonah Jameson and uh, I'm enjoying all of them. You
So
know,
this wave came on what they call retro cards, and back in 2001, 2002, Toy Biz made their own Spider-Man line, and these are kind of an homage to those, right? Those
yes.
cards. And I have a story, but I'm going to save that story for when your brother Frank is on, because we kind of robbed a store with for Spider-Man figures one day, but I will not say anything else. Um,
Oh boy.
it was probably not the best thing to do, but we
I
got us some Spider-Man figures back in 2001. So that's a story for another time.
Yeah, that definitely is. That definitely is.
Oh man. So our top 10, mine encompasses the Fantastic Four, and Rob's list is kind of all over the place, but man, you had really good choices there, except Sugar Man.
I,
Really?
I have no affection for the character, but I
Me
do love a great toy, and that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
great toy.
Yeah, I also love a great toy. That's not one though. No, I get what you're saying though. There didn't look like there were any reuse parts. The sculpting detail on the figure is good.
Yeah,
And it's more so that I didn't wasn't into that. I think I had just got out of comics when that story hit, right? So I have no
I,
affection towards that storyline.
yeah. I think the storyline is a lot better thought about than actual story. I don't think the story's that great.
Right.
Like a lot of people know about the Age of Apocalypse. I think it was the time when Marvel really had you buying 1,000 books a month to read the story because they were crossing it over into everything, and
I think you're right, and
you
I
know,
don't remember that fans liking that story that much. Maybe
no,
10 years, 20 years later, maybe I'm wrong, dude, but I don't remember that story going over that well. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong, but and I just had no interest. Like, who are these characters, man?
yeah,
Um, just I don't know. I like my Jim Lee, Chris Claremont X-Men from the 90s. I like my John Byrne, Chris Claremont X-Men from the 80s. You know,
yeah. They really started like I think the Age of Apocalypse was the start of the storyline of the big. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. The big crossover, the big story arcs. Like well, maybe Infinity War was a lot earlier. That was written by Starlin, right? Gene
oh,
Starlin.
Infinity Gauntlet. Yes, yeah. So
Yeah,
Infinity Gauntlet was a great story in the 90s.
yeah.
Story was
Was that
good.
90s?
I think so.
Was that
Yeah.
90s?
hmm
I think it was 70s, wasn't it?
Oh, no, no, no,
Wow.
no. And yeah, it was late 80s, early 90s, I believe. Infinity Gauntlet, the first one. Then Starlin did three or four other books after that. Infinity War and Infinity other
Okay.
a ton of them. Even recently, he
Okay.
did a couple Infinity books. Um, and I think they all go back to like his creation of Adam Warlock. Coming back
Right.
into you know comics and stuff. But you're probably right, though. I think you're trying to say the gimmicky thing, a new idea to bring people into comics, right? So Age of
Yeah.
Apocalypse was a whole new big, the big X-Men thing at the time.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I don't remember fans liking it though. I didn't.
But that was right with the cartoon was out, right? With maybe a little bit before the cartoon or right with the cartoon, somewhere right in that area.
It might have been right
With the
after.
animated series,
Mm-hmm.
and Toy Biz was dropping figures left and right of with the gimmicks and like the 3 points of articulation on them, which was
Yeah,
awesome for the time.
it was awesome at the time. Yep.
Yeah, uh, and then Marvel just put this huge Age of Apocalypse storyline out there, and it was a million books, and it's so hard to read and understand. And I can see where you're saying that.
Yeah.
Sugar Man, just the sheer art of the figure itself. That's what I like about it.
I,
You know,
I, I hear you, and I get you on that. And like you said, you like a great toy, right?
yeah, yeah,
And when there's good sculpting involved and things you never seen before, and a character that who would have thought they would have made a Sugar Man
sure,
figure,
sure,
right?
yeah,
And again, the whole I'm not a fan of that wave. At some point, I might pick it up just to go with my X-Men line of figures that I'm collecting. But again, for $20, you get a great figure. You get all sorts of parts. You get to build a figure part, and then you build this crazy ass, Sugar Man at the end of it when you have all your figures set up and you build the figure. I get what you're saying. A great toy is definitely a great toy. I'm with you.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely with you on that.
It's the same. It's the same. I can almost associate the same with Nimrod. I have no affection to that figure at all.
Right, same here. But I,
Um,
I like the toy. I definitely like the
yeah,
toy as well. I'm with you on that one too. I might have to get that set at. It's a 3-pack, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Talk
might.
to Collector X if you want it though. Definitely, he's definitely. I think he has a couple that he wanted to move. So,
Oh, okay,
but I mean, I know the set's going up over 100 or over now.
okay,
So, he might be able to hook you up with a little better price.
okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely will.
The Phantom X out of that wave, and which is a newer superhero, I don't really know that well. He's badass, so
Oh
way
yeah,
blows away the old one, and same with Psylocke. You
okay,
know, really, really good
cool.
job making all three of them.
There's a bunch of stuff I'm missing from my X-Men line of legends that I'm collecting, but definitely on the list is that set.
I just bought just I'm watching a lot of top 10 videos and people talking about Marvel Legends. And
Right.
I bought a Bucky from the Black Widow wave.
Okay.
Uh, I guess I don't know if it's comic book or movie. I think it's comic book based Bucky.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's in the Black Widow movie or not. But I sold my other Buckies and I wanted one back, so I bought the
Okay.
Bucky
I got
and
you.
I bought
Yeah. I seen that
and I
wave
bought
once in my Target as well. The whole wave was sitting there. That's the red Black Widow. There's a couple Black Widows, right? And a Red Guardian.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and
Well,
Bucky
somebody
and
did a custom head for that Red Guardian and it looks
oh, really?
tremendous.
Okay.
Yeah, with the beard, they did a real long beard for it. Yeah,
Oh, nice. I did not pick up that wave either because it was kind of movie based,
yeah,
right? So I let that one sit there. But again, in the game Marvel Contest of Champions, they recently added Red Guardian to the game. So I have more affection toward that character because he's in the game as more so than he is in the film. I don't even think the film's out yet, right? I don't even
no,
think it's.
no. What's the costume look like? The film one, or
Yeah, pretty
does the
much.
gold
I mean, they're all kind
gold?
of like comic, just because of how the game is comic based. But it was brought in because of the Black Widow film into the game.
Yeah,
But the colors and how they do the animation is more kind of comic book based or whatever. But they did try to imitate kind of a mix almost,
right.
of the character. But I did leave that wave just because it was kind of. Then there was another Black Widow in a special box that was a little bit more money, right? During at that same time that wave hit, I remember that
Yeah,
being
the
out.
deluxe one.
Yeah, the
They
deluxe
gave her
one.
a lot of yeah. They give her a lot of accessories, a lot of like, stuff that you can add with other figures. I actually got the two of them for I think like $12 each on
Oh
clearance.
shit, nice
Yeah, yeah,
clearance.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if you want one, let me know. I got one.
Oh, okay,
If
cool.
you're interested in her. But I also bought out of the wave the crossbones.
Oh
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Again, leaning. I'm staying away from movies as much as I can.
Me
Some
too.
of them just get me, but
Yeah, I
this
wish.
crossbones. you know, I think he should be bigger. I
Mm-hmm.
think of him as like the old Hasbro crossbones. He was pretty big,
Mm-hmm.
but he had them circle hips. I hate the hips on them with the ball
Yes.
hips.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought it, and we'll see. I'll let you know how I feel about it. I don't know. I didn't get them yet, but I did buy the crossbones and the Bucky.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and I'm just buying X-Men and friggin' Spider-Man, but I can't help it.
that's how they get you. They drag you back in, kicking and
They
screaming,
drag me
Rob.
back. I know. I know. I,
Anyway, that's our top 10 list. Just kind of going different places here with it, talking about Legends. We love Legends. We're always going to love Legends. We're
yeah.
going to have more episodes about Legends, and but I dig my Fantastic Four, Rob. I just dig them.
Yeah, you always have Hawk and Fantastic Four, man.
Yep.
And I think Hawk is going to be one of the ones that they start producing because they have that Hawk body now,
Right.
and I feel like they're going to start doing a lot of other Hawks to
I
go.
think you're right. And there's the new one in the comics is Immortal Hawk, written by Joe Ewing, and I read the first I think 5 issues, and it was very very good. So I would bet you money coming soon is another Hawk wave, um, with as Immortal Hawk, basically.
Wow, wow.
So
Well,
yeah, I
looking
can
forward to it.
yeah that's got to be coming. That's what they're saving for 2021, obviously. But um, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, me too. Let's go. Let's go, Marvel.
So all
And
right,
fuck
guys.
McFarlane.
Oh shit! All right, guys. Well, Rob, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody
Yeah,
out there.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Please stay safe.
We're almost
Um,
out of 2020. 2021 is going to come in, and hopefully, it's going to be a way better year than what we had. It can't get no worse.
yeah,
I'll tell you
can't
that
get
much.
absolutely. It can't get no
Yeah.
worse. All right, guys. Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.
Stay safe. Stay safe, everybody. Later.
Later.